Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petalina, your transformational coach. And on Miracle Monday, what I do is I offer you some truths. I don't offer them, I remind you of different truths that you already know that get you back in connection with your true self, with the love, with your heart, so you can be a fuller expression of love, of joy, and of peace and harmony out in the world, which really is the means for miracles. So you can be an expression of love, which is an expression of miracles. All right, so today's is something that I think we all grapple with. I know I do, is when you're going through difficult emotions. A lot of times, just recently, I'd be going through like this sadness. I'd be okay, I'd meditate and I'd feel good, and then throughout the day, it's like all of a sudden my emotions would start to go down and down and down. And here I am starting to think about, what is this? What am I thinking that's causing this? What is this? What are my thoughts? Where are my thoughts going? What is it that's blocking me? There's so much about it's kind of this blessing and a curse. It's good to look at yourself and to reflect. Reflection is huge because it brings awareness. However, when it's not countered with acceptance, it can be used as a punishing tool. So a lot of times we will go into, what's the fear? What's blocking me? Why can't I do this? And then we use this as like some kind of pummel against ourselves. That's not love, okay? That's just not love. So emotions are not something to be feared. And so when I was going through this, after several days of like really thinking, I'm going to try and be positive, I'm going to, trying to go through the mental route. And when it kept reoccurring and I realized, okay, you know what? I can't do this. I'm just going to give into it. And what I did is what the Course of Love tells us is you have to realize that your emotions, your feelings are not bad. And I think that's what we get caught up in is we tend to think of positive and negative emotions versus light and dark emotions. They are the whole gamut of the human experience, and you can't cut off these lower ones and expect to feel joy. That's not going to happen. You cut off you cut off part of the rainbow, you don't get the rainbow. It's like you cut this off, you end up feeling this neutral thing. You don't get the highs. So, and the other thing about the emotions is they're messengers. They're part of you. And so the Course of Love reminds us that there's a difference. You will either you'll feel that emotion, and because it feels uncomfortable, because it brings up sense of unworthiness in some regard, we'll try to throw it out at somebody. That's projection, to blame somebody else. Or we will take it in and we will shame ourselves about it. Or we try to deny it, minimize it, rationalize it, like I was doing, going through, hey, Miss Donna, going through our own mental constructs. So we'll take this emotion and we'll either project it outward and blame other people, we'll pull it inward and we'll shame ourselves for it, or we just try to think about it and we try to rationalize what's going on, or we just try to shove it away, we try to escape from it. And the Course of Love, and for those of you who aren't familiar, the Course of Love is kind of a continuation of the Course in Miracles. And if these resonate with you, you can check out those books. The Course of Love reminds us there is a difference between being with an emotion in fear and being with an emotion in love. So what we have to do when you have those difficult emotions, first of all, they're uncomfortable, all right? Nobody really wants to sit in their sadness or depression or their grief or their anger. We'd rather be out of it, understood. However, running away ain't going to solve your problem. We have to embrace the emotion. And it was only when I was going through this sadness, I'm going down, feeling good in the morning after meditation and going down throughout the day. It was only when I stopped fighting myself, when I said, I can't do this. And I sat in the evening and I said, I'm just got to feel whatever I'm going to feel. And it was only when I sat with it in love and said, I am just going to assume that this emotion is here for my good. And as soon as I did that, it was like my body, it wasn't like all of a sudden I was happy, but my body relaxed. I wasn't fighting myself anymore. And I could just be with this sadness. And when I could just be with it, and that's what the Course of Love says, when you embrace something with love, it is different. It is different from feeling the emotion with fear. You can only go through love or through fear. And what is necessary in this joining to invite love in is acceptance. And that's what I didn't have. But once I just stopped fighting myself and just accepted it, that's when love was able to enter the situation. As I said, didn't all of a sudden feel great. However, I did gain clarity and compassion for myself. And I got this idea, well, not this idea, I kind of understood then that, oh, there's something in my life that's being let go of, and this is part of this grief. I didn't understand, I didn't quite understand what I was letting go of. But we can accept ourselves without understanding ourselves. That's self-love. That's unconditional love. And that also invites the love in. And once I did that, that emotion was able to settle in. I felt grounded. I felt calmer. As I said, I didn't go into bliss because the emotion was still there, but there wasn't anxiety with it. I felt love with it, and I was able to be with it until that emotion, which is energy and motion, could begin to pass through my body. And it took a couple days, and then all of a sudden, it did what it needed to do. It was just part of a grief process. And anytime if you want to have a block, the only block we have is not accepting what we're feeling in the moment. It doesn't mean we go out and lash out at people, right? That's projection. But it means we accept what we're feeling in the moment. We embrace it with love and compassion and trust. And this was really key for me. Trust that the emotion is there to bring you some good. It's there for your good. It's there for a message. It's part of you. It's part of love. It's on that continuation. Light and dark emotions, but guess what? They're all part of love. So only in the acceptance of that allows for the joining, which is allowing love in. Then the emotion can work through the body. Until while you're dealing with it, surrender's a great thing. You accept it, you surrender it, you just have the felt experience of it. Don't go to your head and make a story about it. That's what I did for a couple of days. Why is this here? What's this doing? Didn't do a thing. The acceptance of it brought the clarity. The allowing of it brought the clarity. And it allowed it to pass through. And I call this giving yourself permission to go off center. And if you saw a recent post by one of my friends, she had hallmarked my book Remembering, which is probably showing up backwards right now on Facebook Live. But it's on Amazon, and I'm going to be putting a Kindle version up, and I'll let you know that when that Kindle version, I'm going to be offering it free for a few days, because I think there's some really helpful, just short little blips in it, just like a page or two with a little just for today reminders. And so I will keep you posted. If you want to find out more about that, you can join our Peace, Power, and Miracles group, and you'll know exactly when that goes up on Kindle. All right, so for your Miracle Monday today, I hope that whatever you are feeling, you embrace it as a part of you. It's who you are in this moment, not to be rejected, but to be accepted and embraced. And then some days are just an easy does it kind of day, but knowing this too shall pass, and knowing that everything is here to love you. I hope you can take that out with you today and find the compassion in your heart when somebody else is going through their emotions and maybe they don't know how to deal with them, and just offer kindness. Happy Miracle Monday. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a miraculous Monday, and bye for now.